I got a theory about the vampire Lestat. Walk with me on this one. I'm aware there's like a million people on this app that are currently deconstructing and loving on the series, so you don't even have to listen to me, but it'd just be really interesting to see if anyone has also picked up on this. If you're new here, my name is Duck. I'm obsessed with the paranormal, the spooky, the creepy, the kooky, and I really love diving into it in all of its forms, whether that's through ghost stories that I tell based on my experience as a paranormal investigator, or through deep diving and reviewing TV series, movies, and books that are about horror and the paranormal. So logically, I have fallen in love with the vampire Lestat because I read the Anne Rice novels when I was in high school. I was late to the party watching Interview with the Vampire, but I'm so glad that I did that now. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. But basically, I feel that if you have been paying attention, that a lot of Lestat's motivations and a lot of the reason why Lestat is the way he is stem from the fact that he has borderline personality disorder. So what is borderline personality disorder, I hear you asking? Borderline is a mental health condition that stems from trauma. It is typified by mood swings, an intense fear of abandonment, lying and narrative shifting, risk-taking behaviors, and dissociation and poor self-image.
Where have we seen this before, friends?
That's not all, because 25 to 60% of people with borderline personality disorder also have a diagnosis of PTSD. I think that he has some of that too. So let's take a moment. Fear of abandonment. He is constantly talking about vampiric loneliness. He is constantly talking about his relationship with Louis and the pain of being abandoned and left behind. He sees Claudia as an obstacle because Claudia is potentially taking attention away from a person that he has chosen to be his favorite person, which is something that a lot of people with borderline personality disorder do. You'll see them sabotaging relationships because they're afraid of being let go or left behind. Lestat also has an intense fear of abandonment from his mother, which is why he has become so enmeshed with her and he's engaging in the schmexual relations, because this isn't a willing participant type scenario. This is, how can I get her to continue to love me? She obviously wants this connection. She wants to be wanted. She wants to feel like an independent woman who is in control of somebody. I know, I'll let her abuse me. But again, because of that narrative shifting sort of device that is a trauma coping mechanism that he's developed over the years, he sits there and he goes, I'm totally cool with this. I'm totally in control of this. You see little glimpses of him not being a willing driver of these behaviors in things like the trial in season 2 when he's apologizing. I feel as though even though Claudia is sitting there and going, he's just doing this to hurt you, Louis, this is a real genuine apology. He really is sorry for what he's done. He's too far into it and he is too mentally unstable to get out of it now. He's apologizing, but he's doing the I'm sorry, but. We don't have to go far to look at the mood swings. He has been famously the king of the crash out since season 1 of Interview with the Vampire. I'm sorry, but the I heard your heart's dancing moment, like, tell me that that is not a borderline who's losing control of their emotions. The dissociation from reality and from your own reality comes into play with things like the way he's writing these songs and the way he's participating in his interview with Daniel Malloy. I mean, he is trying so hard in the beginning of Toronto to convince everyone that Magnus was just a huge fan of him and was really into him, and that's why he just benevolently let him take him. When later on we see that he genuinely put up a fight. He didn't want this. This was unwanted contact. But because he wants to be perceived as powerful and in control of his own narrative and of his own story, he's not going to let us into that just yet. His PTSD shows through in the way that his stammer reappears at random points. Like, there is a really gorgeous moment at the end of season 2 where he and Louis reconcile and he stutters when he's talking about the date that Louis made his unaliving attempt on himself. This is because the traumatic nature of feeling like he could never have a future with Louis or Louis in his life at all is just so much that it triggers him and it brings back that regression state. He stutters again when he sees Gabriella for the first time, and that's because she's his abuser. She's one of many abusers he's encountered in his lifetime. A lot of people are confusing this with a consensual relationship and saying that clearly he's totally in control of that, but he isn't. He is seeking affection from a person that he is enmeshed with at any costs and at any means necessary. Lestat also demonstrates a lot of childhood trauma symptomology, which points further to that PTSD dual diagnosis. One of the big things I noticed is the hypercompliance towards Gabriella. Even though he says in the second episode, I think we need a pact, I don't think we're going to do this time around, it doesn't feel right. And she goes, you're right, it's wrong. He does not at all back down when he realizes, no, she's in control of this narrative, and if I want to keep her around long enough to be around me and give me what I need, she's going to have to be acquiesced in this way. He's hyper compliant as a young person because he gives Nikki the gift even though he doesn't want to. He watches as Armand puts Nikki out of his misery even though he doesn't want to. He continues on a relationship with Armand because at the moment Nikki can't give him what he needs. I don't actually think there was any genuine love there. I think that this was an unmet need for a mentally ill young man. Further to that, there's the wolf killer scene. He goes out there killing these wolves because his mother fucking goads him into doing it. He didn't go out there and kill the wolves for any other reason other than he wanted to prove himself to the people who were doubting him, including Gabriella, who was saying, you're not a real man. I could go on about this forever, but I feel as though there is just a lot there. There's all these like delicious little nuggets of information that show you that there is much more going on with this character than just he's evil. And I think that that's something that we should really be taking into account when we're watching through the lens of what he's doing and the wrongs he's doing, because while it doesn't excuse them, it does give you a window into the psyche of the person committing these acts. Basically, I'm saying that we need to look at Lestat de Leoncourt through a true crime eye rather than a why is he a bastard type eye. I'm going to eventually be doing a deep dive on this. I've got the books. I'm currently going through and highlighting passages and annotating it as I go. But what do you think? Is there any other things that I might have missed? Is there something that I might be misinterpreting? I don't know. Be kind, but feel free to let me know what you think in the comments.